All right, I'm gonna do a news story to close things out today. I'll just put this over on the Odd Man Out News channel. But I did want to talk about this because this is a win. This is such a big win. MSNBC, Comcast Cable is ditching failing MSNBC. Now, Elon Musk is eyeing it for purchase. Now, you can say, well, Elon's not really eyeing it for a purchase. He said the exact same thing before he bought Twitter. He literally said, the funniest thing would be, if I bought it or whatever. Because somebody said, Elon, can you? Why don't you buy Twitter? And he said, how much is it? And then snapped to 6 months or a year later, he did buy it. So somebody shared that meme and they said, Elon, you should buy it. And he said, well, it would be quite funny, actually. But MSNBC is failing so badly that they're being put up on the block for sale. Comcast is getting ready to ditch it, and they're going public. And the reason why they're going public is to try to bring in money because they're failing. Well, I'll get into the main story of this, but this is these are the memes that are spreading around, and there's some good ones.
The AP has just broken some new news. This has just come out from the Associated Press. This is incredible. Oh.
Okay, fellas.
Can we put up the graphic of this?
And then Elon, for those just listening, she's acting like she's going to cry, and it was for a different story, but they cut it into this. Elon Musk's float buying MSNBC from Comcast. How much does it cost?
Thank you. I think I'm going to have to hand this off. Yeah. Aww. Sorry. That does it for us tonight. We'll see you again tomorrow.
So anyway, people were cutting that in and making fun of it because Rachel Maddow is a clown, MSNBC is a clown, all of them are clowns. From the Associated Press. What will happen to CNBC and MSNBC when they no longer have a corporate connection to NBC News? The news is so full of lies and they've... Can you imagine? It's like gangrenous. MSNBC is like the gangrenous arm of NBC. And NBC is like, what are we going to do? It's so broken and screwed up and poisonous because it's now starting to damage the NBC News brand because it has NBC News, CNBC and MSNBC have NBC in it. It's starting to poison the NBC news brand. They're like, we got to just lop it off, dude. Like, let it go. Cast it to the wolves. I want to tell you about today's sponsor from Black Forest Supplements. It's called Turkisterone. As you guys know, there's attacks on masculinity, whether it's in the movies, news, social media, hell, even in commercials. The truth is, weak and feminized men are more easily controlled. It kind of makes us vulnerable to being manipulated and being weak. And that's exactly why anyone that speaks out against that stuff is quickly labeled a phobe or anti-LGBT TV, or they're sexist or misogynist, and they're just shut down from speaking. Well, Joe Rogan had on Andrew Huberman on his podcast, and he's a PhD, a neuroscientist, a tenured professor in the Department of Neurobiology over at Stanford School of Medicine. And he actually talks about this product as well. So let him explain to you what it is.
There are incredible plant compounds out there. Like there's this thing that's now kind of going wild on the internet. It's called turkisterone.
Turkisterone?
Yeah, they call it Turk. And this is basically it. And I actually I did one episode of my podcast all about hormones, and I went deep into this literature, and turkisterone, side by side with DECA or another testosterone derivative, it essentially acts the same way. It increases testosterone and performance and recovery.
How much does it increase it by?
Equivalent.
Really?
So,
so this plant compound is equivalent to DECA?
Essentially.
Wow. Yeah. Where do you get this stuff?
People buy it on the internet. How
do you spell it?
So you guys know Joe's all about maintaining really great health because, he's late 50s and he looks great and he's still a very, very active guy. So, he looks into things to keep his testosterone up. And from a 2021 study, the average American male, controlled for age and other relevant factors, has had a 27% decline in testosterone, which means that a 22-year-old guy today has an average testosterone level roughly equivalent of that to a 67-year-old guy from 2000s, right? Well, now we have a solution. Black Forest Turkisterone with Tanga Ali. It's a limited edition supplement that's been dubbed the feminization killer since it raises your testosterone and helps strengthen you. It combines two of the most potent natural testosterone boosters in the market. I use it. I've had great results. I sleep better. I feel better. I'm losing weight. I'm gaining muscle again at the tender age of 52. Well, anyway, Black Force Supplements, it's a brand dedicated to bringing traditional masculinity back, fighting hard to bring back what's been lost. So if you want to take control of your health and your life, check out Black Force Supplements. Don't let anyone tell you that being strong and confident is a bad thing. Try Turcosterone with Tonga Ali to boost your T. Buy one, get one free. It's a 48-hour promo. Just go to blackforcesupplements.com/bachelor and get your extra bottle for free. I use it. I enjoy it. And it's doing well for me. Comcast corporate reorganization means there will soon be 2 television networks with NBC in their own name, CNBC and MSNBC, that will no longer have any corporate connection to NBC News. How that affects viewers of those networks, along with the people who work there, still needs to shake out. Their new corporate leader, Mark Lazarus, visited the set of MSNBC's Morning Joe. Oh, boy, talk about a show that has fallen off. I think they have something like 100,000 viewers in the demo across locals and YouTube and Rumble, across all my channels, both the BB stuff and the Odd Man Out News. I get more views than NBC or MSNBC does in the demo. And I'm not making, I don't know, $20 million a year like Rachel Maddow. I need a raise. Somebody, YouTube, step it up, man. What's going on? They say how this shakes out for Morning Joe is the plan was being announced on Wednesday and spoke to network staff members during the morning conference call to address concerns. Comcast is spinning off most of its cable networks, including USA, Oxygen, E!, Sci-Fi, and the Golf Channel, into a separate company that reorganizes how streaming is considered the future, and cable networks are a drag on the bottom line. In the space of a lifetime, the networks went from the upstarts aside a legacy operation like NBC to profitable superstars to cast-offs. And that's true. They had NBC, and then MSNBC and CNN and these other news organizations came out with 24-hour news. And myself, including many others, I watched the news. I'd have, like, when a big event happened, it'd be on in the background, and I'd be listening to it. You know, during 9/11, during the Gulf War, during a lot of that stuff, I just had CNN playing 24 hours a day. Now, you couldn't make me listen to them no matter what happened because they lied too much. And it's not a fact of even that the reporting is bad. Their news reporting might be good, but somewhere between collecting the news and telling us what happened, it gets filtered, and what comes out is just lies and media spin. And so even if the reporting is good, what you actually tell us is a lie, and no one's paying attention anymore. And they went from that to like network juggernauts. They went from that to nobody wants them. Nobody pays attention anymore. They're hemorrhaging money because they can't tell you the truth. They became an extension of both the deep state and liberal media and the Democrat Party. They're Pravda. They're Pravda for the deep state and the Democrats. They say the questions range from the simple to complex. Lazarus, chairman of the NBC Universal Media Group, is becoming CEO of the newly formed company of cable networks, temporarily dubbed SpinCo. Cesar Conde, is it Conde or Conde? I'm not sure. Cesar Conde, who as NBC Universal News Group chairman had oversight of CNBC and MSNBC, will lose those networks from his portfolio, yet remain in charge of NBC News Now Streaming, Telemundo, and the news operations of the NBC-owned local stations. And this is why it will still fail, because the same person that's been in charge of all of it, he's losing these bad ones, but he's still in charge of the rest of it. Well, if you weren't able to fix NBC, MSNBC, and CNBC, you're not going to be able to fix the new ones or the ones you're being left with. They're going to keep spinning down the toilet as well. This is why we keep referring to legacy media as legacy. Now it's soon to be the deceased media. Like no one's listening to it anymore. It's worthless. And Elon Musk came out and got some criticism, but he's actually right. He got some pushback recently because he made a post on Twitter that said, "You guys are the media. Everyday citizen journalists are the media now. You go outside, you catch something on a camera. You go to a polling station and you find some chicanery, right? Somebody lying or somebody fooling with the rules. You know, you see you spot a plane crash and you catch it on camera and you report on it. And then other people report on it. And if they turn out to be honest and a good voice to listen to, people tune in. Granted, they may tune in smaller amounts, but at least they're trying to tell you the truth and not trying to necessarily lie to you, at least most people. There are some that are out there that are lying for clickbait and the rest of it, but they'll be discovered soon enough and they'll be discarded on the side. Eventually, OMG, which is O'Keefe Media Group, OMG, that's James O'Keefe. He started Project Veritas, and then the board ended up kicking him out. And he just started all over again from scratch. Eventually, more people are going to be like him, and he's put together some of the most honest, insightful insider journalism we've seen in decades. They say the presence of Lazarus and Anand Kini, who will be Chief Operating Officer and Chief Financial Officer of SpinCo, is a good sign for the new company. Sure it is, said Jessica Erlock, research analyst for Bank of America. You can't dismiss it as getting rid of the crappy assets because these are talented executives, she said. No, that they're not, because that's why they're being sold off. At MSNBC, questions about the future range from the simple, will it even keep its name, to the complex. MSNBC's staff and studios are based in the same Rockefeller Center offices as NBC News, and it was unclear as on Wednesday whether they will remain or remove elsewhere, Lazarus told MSNBC employees. MSNBC's relationship with NBC News has caused some awkwardness, particularly as the network has become known for its stable of far left-wing commentators, while still attached to a news division that stresses impartiality. None of it is impartial, including NBC. NBC has been caught many, many, many times not being impartial. They say it's a nervous time at MSNBC for other reasons. The network has seen a dramatic drop in viewership since Donald Trump's election victory, although it's common that news networks that appeal primarily to one side of the political divide lose viewers when their candidates are defeated. Fox News did not. Fox News gained viewers, as did Newsmax, I think it is. And there's a YouTube channel, I think it's called RBC, Real Broadcasting or something like that. All of those picked it up, and CNN and MSNBC continued to falter. And then after the election, they're faltering again. And a lot of people have come out and said, you lied to us. You were sure Kamala Harris was the next big thing. You were sure that the Donald Trump supporters were a fringe minority of weirdos that are ists and phobes, and that really Trump won the popular vote. Trump won a landslide victory. And a lot of people that were watching said either A, you lied to me, or B, oh, we're not, that's not a fringe minority. You're the fringe minority, and you've been lying to us. So that's another excuse. More excuses. Who cares? Elon Musk floated the idea of buying MSNBC, but he's not the only billionaire who may be interested. I'm not going to read this whole story because it's written by Brian Stelter. How does he still have a job anywhere? This was written an hour ago. But Elon Musk came out. He put a post. Somebody made a meme, and he went with that meme. And he's like, that would be the funniest thing ever if I bought them. And now MSNBC and the lamestream media that lies 24/7, and that includes Fox News and some of the others that everybody says are conservative and right-wing. The commentators in the evening are very conservative, but even the news during the day puts a left-wing spin on it, so you can't trust Fox News either. Well, now these people that are so-called journalists are really upset that we are circumnavigating and going outside of mainstream news, lamestream news, to talk about the facts. And now we don't need to tune into their lying faces anymore. And now they're getting really pissed off and kind of freaked out about it. Here's a couple of meltdowns for you to finish this clip off. Let me make sure it's rewound all the way.
Like you said, this is what gets me. Is somebody pops off on Twitter or some other social media and they lie. They make mistakes. You know what the cost of that is? Nothing. They do it again. In fact, it helps them because the algorithms are rigged. So you stir up shit, and the more you can get people angry, the more followers you get, but also now it's monetized to help.
That's literally what you do, Joe. That's zero self-awareness. That's literally what news agencies do. Donald Trump is literally the Austrian leader of Germany in World War II. Donald Trump is this. Donald Trump is this. Donald Trump's going to arrest reporters. Donald Trump is going to use the military to... Donald Trump's going to track women on their menstrual cycles. Donald Trump is... You guys do the same thing. It's rage bait, and you lie, and you're never held accountable, but now you are held accountable, like this clip, like this video going viral on Twitter. You're being held accountable right now. That's what they hate. They hate that we are now calling them out, and we are holding them accountable. And they say the algorithms support it. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't, because it was on CNN of all places. They did a poll of Twitter users and left and right bias and all this other stuff. Turns out it is 49% liberal or left-leaning and 48% conservative. It is probably one of the most unbiased places on the web. And they're angry that no one's believing their lies anymore. Same thing. This is Axios CEO. Now, Axios is very left-wing. They've been caught. They've had to submit so many retractions for spinning things so far left. They get out of the ballpark. Like they're not even in the realm of reliable anymore. This is from ALX. Axios CEO Jim Van de Hey is so threatened by Elon Musk saying, "You are the media now," to X users. And he's having a meltdown. He's having a freak out over it. They are so threatened by the fact that we do not need lamestream media anymore to find out the news. They're really incessant that whatever we are, you and all the other independent people that are watching and doing videos, whatever we are, it's not the news. How dare you?
How dare you?
Everything we do is under fire. Elon Musk sits on Twitter every day, or X today, saying like, "We are the media. You are the media." My message to Elon Musk is bullshit. You're not the media. You having...
All the NPC talking heads, yes, we are, that's right, you're not the media, we're the media. I went to journalism school and got an associate's degree. And I work for Knoxville News 3, UHF Channel 64. Probably nobody knows what UHF is anymore. VHF. What is it, VHF? UHF. UFH. UHF. Those of you old-timers know. That's the staticky one that you had to tune in on TV when you had two knobs, back when we had knobs on TVs.
You having a blue check mark, a Twitter handle, and 300 words of cleverness doesn't make you a reporter. You don't do that by popping off on Twitter. You don't do that by having an opinion. You do it by doing the hard work.
You mean like James O'Keefe and O'Keefe Media? You mean like Alex Jones? You mean like Steven Crowder or Tim Pool or Joe Rogan or Jimmy Dore? You mean like Russell Brand? They're all doing hard work. They're just not going out into the field, into the war zones, or going to wherever you have reporters, because you have the money to send the reporters there. Where are you getting all this money? I don't know, because it's not from ratings. It's from that big pharma stuff that they keep shilling all the time. But then and the problem is they do great data collection. They go out there, UHF, yeah, that's it. They go out in the field, they do the interviews, they get the information, and then they put the spin on it, and then we get to see it. You guys have to stop spinning it. You might be reporters, but you're not reporting the news anymore. You're lying. You're grifting. You're Pravda. That's all you are.
Yeah, come on, slow clap, everybody. Whoa. First of all, I've got to say, extraordinary content. It needed to be said.
Yeah.
It continues to need to be said. When all of the garbage that's flying around on social media, lying about reporters, lying about the hard work they do, lying about the hard work editors do, lying about everything up and down, about not only their alternative set of facts, but alternative set of facts about what people like you do. Or if social media, people lie.
And that's the other clip that I had about him lying. All they do, see, that this is the problem, right? This is the problem with legacy lamestream media. All it takes is once. All it takes is once. For example, if I had a fact, if I was in Ukraine, if I was in Palestinian areas like Palestine, if I was in Gaza, if I was in Beirut, if I was in any of these areas, if I was at a Trump rally, if I was at a Kamala Harris rally, if I was actually there and I saw with my own eyes, or I hear something with my own ears and I know the truth, and then you put a spin on it and you lie about it. I forgot to mention Russian and Israel. Any of those places, on either side of the fence, doesn't matter. Which side you hate, you like, it doesn't matter. All you have to do is be there. And one time, and if I hear you lie about what really happened, I don't trust you anymore. Now, the problem is people will, what do they call it? Gell-Mann amnesia effect. So a doctor will watch a report on medical something, and he's like, oh, CNN's full of crap. That's not true at all. And then it'll be like breaking news on the conflict in Russia and Ukraine. And that same doctor will go, oh, I wonder what they have to say about this. And then believe what they hear. They don't realize that, well, if they're lying about one thing, they're probably lying about everything. Well, eventually you discover that and you realize, oh, they lied about this. Oh, and they lied about that. And they lie about everything. And now they're just liars. And once that's happened, I don't believe Fox News. I don't believe Newsmax. I don't believe CNN. I don't believe Joe Rogan. There's nobody that I believe. There's no one source of news that I believe gives me 100% of the truth. I think all of them either do their best to provide the truth and then give their opinion with it, like I do. And then you've got to find other places that give what they've heard and their opinion. And then you make up your mind on this amalgamation of information that you gather that usually supports the way you see the world. That's just the way it is. Sometimes things will come out and they're so devastating, they may change the way you see the world. That's happened to me, where I feel very strongly about something and then overwhelming evidence comes out and I go, wow, I had no idea. I'm going to need to rethink this. I'm going to have to start digging around and find some other things. I've been wrong. But then there's agencies that they just lie to you. And it's I try to take the news and find the news that fits my narrative. I will look at news that doesn't fit my narrative. And then my narrative may shift. These people don't find the news and make it fit their narrative. They have a narrative and they will tell you and mangle and rip apart and reconstruct the news and the information to whatever they can jam into that narrative. And there is a difference. People are finding that out now. And people are moving away from this, whether it's to Twitter or YouTube or Rumble, or whether it's locals or whether it's Facebook, but even Facebook shuts down things. And they come right out and look you in the eye and say, well, you can't trust Twitter. They lie to you for algorithms and money and monetization, and they rage bait and they manipulate the facts. Okay, I agree. But so do you. That's the difference. And there's community notes on X, and people can get down here in the posts and yell and argue and post memes and just get to it. How do you call out, how do you hold mainstream legacy lamestream? I keep saying mainstream, lamestream. How do you hold legacy media lamestream accountable? If you're just a viewer at home and you say, well, they're lying to me, I know they're lying. How do you hold them accountable? Well, I scream at the TV and then I go pout in the bathroom. Yeah, that doesn't work. Twitter's dangerous because it allows everybody to call everybody out. Community notes post some suggestions, but people also post links. People post a link to a video of you saying the exact opposite thing 3 years ago. This is the new way. You guys are chatting. I see chat goes by. Every once in a while, something comes up and I say, oh, hey, that's a good point. And I read it out. I could not submit something and a CNN anchor mid-stream goes, oh, hey, user 12345 just posted a video of this is what really happened. There is none of that. This is the old way. And MSNBC and CNBC, which maybe is that the Canadian version of NBC? Anyway, and CNN and all these other agencies, they're going away because there is no, it's a one-way street. I'm going to yell this thing at you and you better believe it. And you have no way to call me out. Because then if you call me out and I keep going on, well, then you can say, okay, he's not listening or whatever. This is the new media. Online is the new media. This old thing where they talk at you through boxes of cable, that's done. The one-way communication's done. It just doesn't work. So good luck to MSNBC. I don't think Elon Musk is serious about buying it because he knows the future is X, the future is the internet, and whatever is going on the TV. When the boomers go, and maybe the oldest of Gen X, that's the end of TV. We're getting close. Another decade or so, and it's done. So I don't think Elon's going to buy it. I think it'd be funny if he is buying it. And you know something? If he bought it, if he bought it and then made deals to stream Joe Rogan and Alex Jones and all these other people on there, I think the ratings would actually go up. There's a lot of people that would love to just have 24/7 of all their favorite podcasters just running, and I think that's the only way you save legacy media. It would be funny if he did it, but I don't think it's going to happen.